Nobody trusted Spain's defense before this World Cup. Zero, none. The attack was never in question. Yamal, Pedri, Nico Williams, all flair. But the backline and the goalkeeper chosen to start? Written off completely. Then, Spain did the opposite of everything predicted and built it so quietly almost nobody noticed until it was too late. And it all traces back to one underwhelming night that everybody misread completely. The opener that fooled everyone. It started with a result that looked like confirmation of every doubt. Spain opened their campaign with a shockingly flat 0-0 draw against Cape Verde, a scoreline that had pundits questioning whether this Spanish attack could actually break teams down. Social media had a field day, but buried inside that underwhelming result was the first sign of something much bigger. Spain had not conceded. Nobody was talking about it yet, because a scoreless draw against a lower-ranked nation does not exactly scream defensive masterclass. It looked like stagnation. It was actually the beginning of a record, a streak nobody predicted. From that point forward, Spain simply stopped conceding. They followed the Cape Verde draw with a 4-0 demolition of Saudi Arabia and a tight 1-0 win over Uruguay to top the group, then eased past Austria 3-0 in the round of 32. They kept clean sheets in each of their opening 4 matches, becoming the first European nation to manage that feat at a World Cup since Switzerland back in 2006. Goalkeeper Unai Simon, selected ahead of Premier League Golden Glove winner David Raya and Barcelona's Joan Garcia, quietly built a streak of 519 consecutive minutes without conceding a goal at this tournament. That number broke Walter Zenga's long-standing World Cup record of 517 minutes, and it also shattered Iker Casillas' previous Spain benchmark of 476 minutes, a record that had stood since Robin van Persie's iconic diving header back in 2014. The tactical foundation behind it. None of this happened by accident. Luis de la Fuente built a defensive structure around discipline and spacing rather than raw individual talent alone. Rodri, when fit and available, anchors the base of midfield, screening the back 4 and forcing opponents wide into areas where Spain's compact block could smother crosses before they became genuinely dangerous. The fullback stayed conservative rather than bombing forward at every opportunity, and the entire team pressed as a coordinated unit rather than relying on isolated individual pressure from 1 or 2 players. Every single player understood their role in the structure, and that collective discipline is exactly what separates a good defense from a genuinely elite one. The centre-backs held a disciplined line, rarely getting dragged out of position, which meant the space in behind that so many attacking sides depend on simply never opened up. The numbers back this up in a way that is almost hard to believe. No team managed a single shot on target against Spain in the opening 75 minutes of any match at this tournament. Across their opening 4 games, opponents produced just 1 combined attempt on Simon's goal inside the first half hour, and only 10 shots in total before half-time across 4 entire matches. Spain led the whole tournament for fewest shots faced and fewest shots on target conceded. This was not a goalkeeper repeatedly bailing out a shaky defense. This was a structure so well organized that shots barely happened at all. Surviving Portugal. The round of 16 brought Spain face-to-face with Portugal, and specifically with the shadow of Cristiano Ronaldo playing what would become his final World Cup appearance at 41 years old. It was, on paper, the toughest defensive test Spain had faced so far, against a squad packed with attacking talent capable of unlocking almost any structure in world football. Names like Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva and Rafael Leao are not the kind you shut down easily over 90 minutes. Spain's defensive block absorbed everything Portugal threw at them, closing passing lanes patiently and refusing to be dragged out of shape even as the game wore on and the pressure mounted. The breakthrough eventually came in the 91st minute when substitutes Ferran Torres and Mikel Merino combined, Torres sliding a low ball across the box for Merino to finish and send Spain through 1-0. It extended the shutout streak even further and proved that Spain's structure did not crack under sustained pressure from one of the most talented squads left in the competition.
Well, you've asked for it and we've finally delivered. Relive the glory days with the most iconic designs in football history. Whether you're a fan of classic club colours or legendary international strips, we've got something to ignite your nostalgia. Perfect for match days, casual wear or adding to your collection. Shop the new retro range now at goal90.shop. Massive discounts await.
The streak finally breaks. Belgium ended it in the quarter-final. And honestly, at some point it had to. After more than 600 consecutive minutes without conceding, shattering Switzerland's old tournament record of 469 minutes along the way, Spain finally shipped their first goal of the entire competition. A moment that instantly made headlines given how long the wait had been. It was almost a relief in a strange way, proof that this defense was human after all and not some untouchable machine. But even conceding once barely dented the bigger picture. Spain moved on, still with by far the meanest defensive record left in the tournament, and the goal against Belgium remains, to this day, the only one they have let in across the entire competition. 1 goal, 7 matches. Let that sink in for a second. Dismantling France. Then came the collision everyone had circled since the draw was made. The one match every neutral fan on the planet wanted to see. France arrived at the semi-final, having scored 16 goals in 6 matches and looking like the most fearsome attacking side left in the competition, with Kylian Mbappe tied for the tournament's Golden Boot lead heading into kickoff. Spain simply refused to let them play. Mbappe found no space in transition, repeatedly crowded out before he could turn and run at defenders the way he had done throughout the rest of the tournament. Ousmane Dembele and Michael Olise were kept equally quiet, starved of the service that had powered France's run to the semi-final. France, a team that had not trailed once in 6 matches, went behind in the 22nd minute when Lucas Digne fouled Yamal in the box and Mikel Oyarzabal calmly converted the resulting penalty. Pedro Porro doubled the lead in the 58th minute with a slick give and go alongside Dani Olmo before finishing coolly past Mike Maignan. France finished the match with just 0.3 expected goals from 10 shots, an almost unthinkable number for an attack of that quality against a defence supposedly there to be broken. Spain won 2-0 and advanced to the final without France ever seriously threatening to equalise. What this means going into the final: Spain now sit on a 37-game unbeaten run stretching back 2 years, and they have conceded a single goal across 7 matches at this entire World Cup, a number that still feels almost impossible to process given the quality of attacking talent they have faced along the way. That is the exact same record Vicente del Bosque's champions set back in 2010, when Spain won their only previous World Cup by grinding out a string of 1-0 victories through the knockout stage rather than blowing teams away. That 2010 side had actually lost their opening group match to Switzerland, 1-0, before recovering to win every single game that followed all the way to the trophy. This current squad is chasing that identical identity, a team that may not always dazzle for 90 minutes, but simply refuses to be broken down when it matters most. They now await the final at MetLife Stadium, arriving as the form team of the entire tournament and, remarkably, the form defense too. Nobody predicted this coming into the summer. Everybody will be talking about it if Spain finishes the job and lifts the trophy for a second time. Do you think this defense is good enough to actually win them the World Cup on Sunday? Drop your prediction in the comments right now. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video like this. Catch you in the next one.